everyone, welcome back to the mid-inning show. Hyderabad have 164 for 5 on the board, and what an innings by the youngster, by the 19-year-old Priyam Garg, who comes from UP. He scored 51 of 26, such a fluent innings, such a technically sound innings. I think he's informed everyone that with a good technique, with a good solid technique, you can still score those important runs even if you don't have the power. So what an innings it has been from Hyderabad. 164 for 5, still a little short of that par mark. They would have wanted around 175, 180, but after a collapse was triggered, David Warner, Jonny Bairstow, Manish Pandey, Kane, Williamson failing. Then Abhishek, Sharma, and Priyam Garg stitching together a fabulous partnership together. The youngsters, the 19-year-olds coming together and giving us a glimpse of what they can do. They've got 164 on the board. It won't be the easiest of chases, but Chennai will be banking on themselves to chase this down. They have the likes of Shane Watson, Murli Ambati Raidu, beg your pardon. Faf du Plessis is there, and down the order, Sam Curran, MS Dhoni, Kedar Jadhav. A lot of firepower in their batting lineup, and I think they should be banking on themselves to chase this down. Straight away, let's uh, let's see the best tweets of first innings. That's what we always talk about first. So, Jude Smith says that with the likes of Bravo, Karan, Chahar, and Thakur in the CSK ranks today, it's quite something how this team has transformed from traditionally relying on spin to playing regularly with a pace quartet now. Good, really good observation. I think we were all bereft of this fact. But yeah, really good observation how MS Dhoni has had a traditional liking for the spinners, whether it's while captaining the Indian team, whether it's captaining the Chennai franchise. He's always had a liking and a reliance towards the spinners. And this time we've seen that he isn't even playing Imran Tahir in the side. They're going with just one spinner, Piyush Chawla. And as Jude rightly mentioned, Sam Curran, Dwayne Bravo, and Deepak Chahar, Shardul Thakur, relying on their pace battery, pace quartet. I think it has paid them dividends today. They bowled really well. All the pacers hunted in packs really well. Shardul Thakur finished really well, just not giving away too many runs in the last over, containing the flow of runs. It was a really good show by the Pacers. Then, if we have a look at the second tweet that we have, first was by Jude Smith at Jude Smith Saneth 24. The second tweet is by Chitran at Crick Chitran. Interesting is a really interesting tweet. Bits and pieces player Karan taken to the cleaners. Need to play Tahir for his experience and wicket taking prowess. Karan being played for his batting prowess, which won't be needed in most of the games. Play Tahir. So Chitran has ordered the he's ordered the Chennai camp to play Imran Tahir, the specialist spinner. According to the person who has tweeted this, Sam Curran is a bits and pieces player. I don't think so. I think he's a really good bowler. He's a really efficient bowler. He hasn't got that pace. He doesn't look threatening at all. But he manages, and he manages really well. He has that good cricketing brain, which you need to survive and thrive in this game. Apart from that, if you look at his batting, I think he's more than just a part-timer bowler or a batsman. I think Sam, you are underestimating Sam Curran a little bit, and I think he'll play a few more games. Everyone has bad days. Everyone has bad days out in the field, but more often than not, Sam Curran is performing for you. He's delivering with the ball in almost every game. He's fetching you those important wickets. Uh, while batting also, he can play those big hits that you require. He can also pinch hit for you. He can almost do any job for you. He also contributes in the field. So I think you have underestimated Sam Curran a little. But the prospect of Imran Tahir coming in, I think that has to be looked at. When do they play him? They will certainly play him at some point of time because they will need his services. But when will that point come? We'll have to wait and watch, because right now there's Dwayne Bravo, there's Sam Curran, there's Faf du Plessis, there's Shane Watson. Again, highlight of the innings for me would have to be Faf du Plessis. Faf du Plessis taking that brilliant catch out in the outfield. He's one of the safest hands in the game of cricket, if not the safest. Looks brilliant, doesn't he? Wow, how he flicks it back and just does it with such ease. That is what stands out. He always does it with such ease. Uh, at first, taking the catch is not easy. Then overbalancing yourself, throwing the ball back, reaching there, it's doubly difficult. He does it really. He does it to perfection. Then, of course, let's have a look at the scorecard. Hyderabad, of course, got 164 for 5. Chennai will have to be chasing 165 in their quota of 20 overs. David Warner looked a little sluggish today, didn't get off to the brightest of starts, getting 28 of 29, just 3 boundaries. He need to ponder upon his performances. He's not been going great guns in this IPL. Jonny Bairstow got out for a duck of 3 deliveries, bowled by Deepak Chahar. In the last match, also we saw he was cleaned up by Pat Cummins, so that in swinging delivery is troubling him a lot, and he'll want to look at that. He'll want to correct this. He'll want to get better at playing those in swingers. Then Manish Pandey was looking in fine form. He was looking in great touch, had hit 5 fabulous boundaries, getting to 29 of 21, but got out prematurely. Ideally, he would have wanted to carry on for longer than this. Then Kane Williamson just getting into his stride, and a really unfortunate run out that sent him back to the pavilion, 9 of 13 with just a single boundary. Raidu and Dhoni pairing up to send back Kane Williamson, and then the partnership that actually held up this innings, that provided some stability and got them to a respectable total, was between Priyam Garg and Abhishek Sharma. Abhishek Sharma first started taking charge. He was the dominator. He was the go-getter in this partnership. First, he got 31 of 24, hitting one huge six and four really good boundaries. 31 of 24 was a really good effort by Abhishek Sharma. But the star of the show, without a doubt, was Priyam Garg. His first 50. 19-year-old looks fabulous again. As I said, technically sound batsman, has got a good stable foundation to hit those big shots. He got to his first 50, getting 51 of 26, 4 fours, and a huge six off a free hit. So it was really good to watch how a youngster who has been supported by the team management, who has been trusted, finally delivers. And there was a look of satisfaction and a face of told you so on the whole support staff face, that this guy we have trusted, and this guy has finally delivered, and delivered in fine fashion. If we look at Chennai's bowling card, decent bowling performance, have restricted Hyderabad to 164. That's not a huge total. So I think they'll be banking on themselves after this good bowling performance. Deepak Chahar, 4 overs 31, 2 crucial wickets. Abhishek Sharma was dropped twice off his bowling, so he would be a little disappointed. He would have wanted better figures, but at the end of the day, 31 for 2, still decent. Sam Curran was taken to the cleaners today, 3 overs 37 and no wickets. A bad day out in the field for Sam Curran, one he'd want to forget. Shardul Thakur was again decent, a really good last over, making effective use of those knuckle balls. He did bowl really well, looked mature enough to have landed those knuckle balls on the right spot always. Dwayne Bravo on his comeback, on his return, 4 overs 28, an economy of 7, decent bowling performance, but he didn't take any wickets. And going into the next few matches, he'd want to get into the wickets tally as soon as possible. Piyush Chawla, as decent as ever, 3 overs 21 wicket, again delivered for MS Dhoni. He's an experienced player now, so you expect him to go out there and give his best efforts. And he knows how to contain the batsmen, so he did it really well. Ravindra Jadeja didn't get much of a chance, didn't bowl his quota of 4 overs. 2 overs 16 for none, was hit by the little Abhishek Sharma for a huge 6 over cow corner, and was also played a reverse sweep against. And he did get played in the second over. Really intelligent batting and not the best of bowling from Ravindra Jadeja. So all in all, anyone who's joining us right now, Hyderabad have got to 164 for the loss of 5 wickets. Priyam Garg 51 of 26 going not out into the not out back into the pavilion will be really happy with the performance. He'd want that this knock doesn't go in vain. He'd want to contribute to a winning cause, of course, and if it goes down in vain, it'll be a really disappointing end to this match. Chennai will shortly step onto the field. It will be Shane Watson and Ambati Raidu walking up to the pitch, walking onto the middle. A really important phase, the first six overs. They'd want to provide a good start. They'd want to lay a good foundation so that the batsmen coming in after them don't have to face as many problems. So definitely it won't be the easiest of chases. Hyderabad have the experience of David Warner and Kane Williamson. Both of these have been captains for their respective sides in the past. Now, David Warner will be leading. He is the captain, but Kane Williamson's expertise will surely be really handy for him. Jonny Bairstow behind the stumps, Manish Pandey in the field. They'll go all out today. I think they have really good bowlers in this side. Rashid Khan will have a huge role to play in this matchup. Priyam Garg, emboldened and embellished by this knock of 51, looked really good today. Now the onus is on the batsmen after a decent bowling performance by the Chennai bowlers. Deepak Chahar, Shardul Thakur, Dwayne Bravo, Sam Curran, all contributing, chipping in to restrict Chennai to 160, Hyderabad, beg your pardon, to 164 for 5. Chennai will shortly step out the openers Shane Watson and Ambati Raidu, as I mentioned. Again, I'd like to repeat, really important for them to lay a good foundation so that they can provide them with a good start. And it will be interesting to see how Shane Watson goes about his business. It's not a huge, towering task. It's 164 for 5. 8 runs per over. It can be tricky. It can be tricky because you wouldn't know what pace to go at. Should you go all out? Should you contain yourself? Should you just keep taking singles or hit those occasional boundaries? I think that if they play to the merit of the ball, just keep a rotating strike. Rotating strike will be very important in such a score. While chasing such a score, 164. Sunrisers are in a huddle right now. If I had to guess what they would be talking about, I think they would be saying, David Warner would be telling his boys that we've done it in the past. We've restricted the opposition to lower scores than this. We've restricted them to 130. It's Faf du Plessis and Shane Watson walking out to the middle. A bit of a surprise for me, but because I think Faf du Plessis was batting really well at number 3. And Ambati Raidu should have opened ideally, but they're going in with Faf du Plessis. Still not a bad move. He likes the ball coming onto the bat. He's a good player of the new ball as well. So very interesting second innings coming up. I am backing Chennai to chase this score down, and I think they will make it 2 out of 4. They'll move up the table with this win, I think. But Hyderabad are not out of a chance. So definitely, I'll see you again after the match ends in the post-match live show. It will be Yuvraj Dua from Sports Tiger talking with you. Right now, let's move to live action. Shane Watson, Faf du Plessis out there in the middle. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar will start for Hyderabad.